Once upon a time, in the heart of the bustling market, where the clamor of the vendors mingled with the laughter of children, little Rosamund wandered joyfully with her mother through the colorful stalls. Her feet moved lightly over the rug scattered on the ancient stones, while her eyes sparkled with excitement at every new sight. In a small shop filled with beautiful trinkets, her attention was caught by a shimmering jar, glowing a deep purple, twinkling in the corner as if it held a special magical secret. Unable to resist its allure, Rosamund eagerly suggested to her mother to buy it, unaware that this jar was not merely an ornament, but held a valuable lesson that would change her view of life forever. One sunny morning, Rosamund found herself wandering through the old market with her mother. The air was filled with the scent of fresh bread and aromatic spices wafting from market stalls. Her small feet danced lightly among colorful carpets and dangling lanterns, everything around her vibrated with life. Among piles of fruits and vegetables, Rosamund paused in front of a tiny store brimming with strange and beautiful things. Amidst all the vivid colors, Rosamund fixed her gaze on a small jar. This jar sparkled with a rich purple hue, gleaming like a pearl under the sunlight. Its shape resembled a rare flower blooming in a magical garden. "Mother, look! This jar seems magical!" Rosamund exclaimed, her eyes glowing with admiration. With a mysterious smile, the shopkeeper remarked, "This jar, my dear, is no ordinary jar. It holds a secret inside. But it requires a kind heart to shine with its true brilliance." Rosamund's heart filled with excitement, and she decided to take the jar with her. "I will care for this jar and let it shine," she declared proudly. As Rosamund embraced the jar and paraded it on the way home, questions began to bubble in her mind. Why is this jar so important? Does it really hold magic? Is it just a beautiful container or something more? Her curiosity mounted with each step. That evening, Rosamund sat before the jar in her cozy little room. Initially, the jar seemed calm, but soon it began to change. Its color shifted from deep purple to light blue and then began to radiate with a gentle golden hue. "What is happening?" Rosamund gasped in wonder. Approaching the jar, she felt something odd. A light inside the jar reflected to form an image. The picture portrayed a distant scene of an astonishing place, a magical garden full of lively trees and flowers glowing with rainbow hues. Rosamund knew that this place was the key to the magic hidden within the jar. Unable to resist her curiosity, Rosamund decided to visit this wondrous place. At that moment, a bright blue light burst from the jar, and with it, the garden emerged before her, like a gateway to a new world, a world of enchantment and beauty long concealed. Upon entering the garden, the air was laden with floral scents and exotic perfumes. Gigantic trees swayed in the breeze, whispering ancient secrets. In the heart of the garden lay a shimmering lake, its surface mirroring the boundless blue sky. As Rosamund explored the garden, she encountered friendly magical creatures resembling giant butterflies. Each had wings shimmering with golden colors and sang strange tunes that made the trees dance. One creature spoke to Rosamund, "This garden hides a great secret, an ancient lost treasure. But only one with a kind heart and a true desire to help can find it." Rosamund looked at the jar in her hand and knew it was time to unleash the magic. In the garden center stood a massive tree with golden leaves. Carved ancient riddles adorned its trunk. If Rosamund could solve them, the path to the treasure would be revealed. She pondered the riddles, surrounded by the enchanting hues of the garden's flowers. Amongst the puzzles emerged the one word she sought: love. Rosamund tenderly spoke, "Love is the key." Suddenly, the jar began to glow with light, and the tree rose into the air, revealing a golden box hidden deep within its roots. When Rosamund opened the box, she discovered inside a magical pearl, gleaming in the sunlight. This pearl was filled with powers to revive plants, ease sorrow, and bring happiness. Carrying the pearl and magical jar, Rosamund returned home, where her mother eagerly awaited her. However, upon entering their home, she sensed something different. Her room glowed brighter. Flowers blossomed on the window sills as if the magical garden had relocated to her home. In the days that followed, the magic of the jar spread throughout the town. Plants grew swiftly, gardens became more beautiful, and everyone felt joy and comfort, as if something wondrous had occurred. Over time, the jar became even more magical. It was more than just a piece of purple glass, it now held the spirit of the magical garden within, bringing peace and happiness to all who came near. On a quiet night, Rosamund held the jar once more. As she gazed into it, it began to glow passionately. Suddenly, she found herself flying through the sky, venturing to a distant place, a world of twinkling stars and silvery clouds. There in space, Rosamund discovered that love is the bond that holds everything together. The stars shone and sang songs of love and peace. In that moment, she knew this magic would never end as long as it dwelled in her heart. The next morning, Rosamund awoke in her bed, surrounded by everyone in the town. The magical garden was still present in her heart, and everything was brighter and more vibrant. From that day on, Rosamund understood that beauty doesn't lie solely in material things, but in the love you give and receive. Every time she looked at the magical jar, she remembered the garden, the magic of life, and all the moments that the eyes can see only through the heart.